All right, the last thing I'm going to teach you for today is how to find complex solutions. So, when we say complex solutions, it generally means that there's probably going to be an imaginary number in the solution. Okay, so let's go ahead and try out a couple of different methods. Let's take a look at A. To solve this quadratic equation, we have to isolate the variable x. So, for A, I'm taking a look. Maybe I could use the quadratic formula, but that might take a long time. I'm going to try by completing the square here. So how do we complete the square again? Well, first things first, we need to make sure that it is in the form of ax squared plus bx equals c. So I'm going to move over this positive 5 by subtracting 5 on both sides. So now we have x squared plus 4x plus some random number. So remember, I'm going to leave some extra space because we are completing the square, equals negative 5 plus another some random number. Oops. And I'll leave it like that. All right, so x squared plus 4x plus some number is going to equal negative 5 plus some number, that same number. How do we complete the square again? So first we have to take our b value. So our b value here is 4. We're going to cut it in half, which is 2. And then we're going to square that value, which is going to be 4. Whoopsies, which is going to be 4. So what value are we adding on both sides? We are adding 4. So now let's rewrite it. X squared plus 4x plus 4 equals negative 5 plus 4, which is going to give us a negative 1. Cool. Let's go ahead and factor this left side of the equation over here. We know that x squared plus 4x plus 4 is going to factor into x plus 2 squared, and that's going to equal negative 1. So notice here, we're trying to solve for the variable x. What should we do to both sides of the equation? We're going to square root it. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So now, what do we have? We have x plus 2 equals the square root of negative 1. Oh, and then what should we do to both sides to isolate x? Let's go ahead and subtract 2 on both sides. So now we have x equals negative 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 1. And instead of writing the square root of negative 1, what should we write instead? X equals negative 2 plus or minus I. So we have two solutions here. Our first solution, solution 1, is going to be negative 2 plus I. And then in our second solution, solution 2, is going to be negative 2 minus I. So that is a complex solution over here. All right, let me go ahead and minimize this really quick so we have some extra room for B. Resize. Yay, move over. All right, let me go like this. Sorry for my sound effects. All right, let's try out B, okay? So B over here, maybe I don't want to complete the square. Maybe I want to try out the quadratic equation or the quadratic formula. Quadratic formula again, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So what should we do first? Always have it in standard form, and it is in standard form. Our equation is in standard form. Let's go ahead and identify our a value, our b value, and our c value. Our a value is positive 5, our b value is negative 4, and then our c value is positive 1. Now let's go ahead and substitute all of these values into the quadratic formula. So x equals negative b, so negative 4 plus or minus the square root, I'm going to extend this, the square root of b squared, so negative 4 squared minus 4ac, so 4 times a, 4 times 5 times c, which is 1. All over 2a. So all over 2 times a, 2 times 5. Let's go ahead and continue breaking this down and simplifying it. So x equals negative 4 is the same thing as positive 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 4 squared. Negative 4 squared is 16, positive 16, minus 4 times 5 is 20. 20 times 1 is 20. All over 2 times 5, which is 10. All right, let's keep on simplifying it. X equals 4 plus or minus 16 minus 20 is negative 4. Oops, that didn't work. Please work. Whee! Cool. Negative 4 all over 10. All right, so I have here 4 over 10. We could simplify that. Actually, no, let's not simplify that yet, actually. So over here, notice we have a root negative 4. So remember, let's go ahead and simplify this. What is this the same thing as? X equals 4 plus or minus, well, we know that root negative 4 is the same thing as root negative 1 times root 4. And so we have here I times square root of 4 is 2. So we have 2i. So 2i is going to be here now. So x equals 4 plus or minus 2i all over 10. Awesome. So we have 2 solutions here, okay? Our solutions here, well, actually not yet. We can simplify 4 and 10 and 2 and 10 because they're all even numbers. So if they're all even numbers, we can reduce this to 2 plus or minus I over 5. Cool. So this is your solution over here. We have 2 solutions. Sorry, someone texted me. We have 2 solutions. Solution 1 is going to be 2 plus I over 5. And then solution 2 is going to be 2 minus I over 5. And that's how we can use imaginary units to find complex solutions in quadratic equations. Okay, that's it. Bye.